As we have been discussing, from that ātmā, anatma, that there are two things, and ātmā is not anatma. And later on, we started looking at, hey, there is nothing called anatma. In fact, everything is only ātmā. And as we are trying to see, a lot of quotes from Shruti is continuing. And last verse, 54, we saw, Yasmin sarvani bhutani hyatmatvena bijanatah na vai tasya bhaven mohaha na cha shokaha advityahatah. So there is shokam, or I would rather say there is moham, and because of moham there is shokam. Wherever there is difference, wherever there is duality. And because their second thing does not exist, definitely there is no moha, there is no shokaha. Because anything and everything is ātmā ityarthaha. So, visaya sambandha, all these things have been negated. Verse number 55, let us chant. Ayam ātmā hi brahmīva sarvātmakataya stitah iti nirdharitam srutya Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad. So this comes in Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad, also in Mandukya Upaniṣad, both, where it highlights Ayam ātmā brahma iti. So that means this ātmā is indeed Brahman. Now when he says Ayam ātmā brahma eva, now that means it is again emphasizing that there is only one thing exists, and other than that there is nothing. Because the ātmā that we see here, he says sarvātmakataya iti. So the ātmā that is in the form of every living being, self of all being. That means already we have seen this point. It's not that I have one ātmā, you have another ātmā. And each one has got different ātmā. Will it be possible? If you say so, then my question will come. Now, from one sun, then you can question. Some people ask, okay, how this population increases? It's a very nice question comes, okay? So will you please explain that how this population is increasing? It's a very simple thing. So now is God divided, getting divided more and more? Yes, God doesn't get divided, you are getting divided, okay, unnecessarily. Because, remember, from one sun, how many reflections or reflected sun can appear? As many as reflecting medium. And a reflecting medium has nothing to do with the sun. So what is jiva? So jiva is nothing, neither, please understand. So this, okay, let us look at this body. This body-mind complex, especially mind. So mind is what? Is it completely inert? At the same time, is it completely consciousness? It is neither completely consciousness nor is it completely inert. Because being a reflecting medium, we use this word reflecting medium. Now the number of the jivas completely depends on what? completely depends on the reflecting medium called here mainly Sukshma Sarira and Karana Sarira. So that's why here he says, look, the entire ātmā prapañca is nothing but Brahman. And this is being established by Upanishads. And here two Upanishads at a time. One is Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad, also same thing also in Mundaka Upanishad. That's why one is supposed to have prior exposure to the Upanishadic teaching. And of course, without prior getting exposed to this Upanishadic teaching, if the person starts looking at this sort of text, definitely there is a lot of confusion. However, continuing, Anubhutopyayam lokaha vyavaharakshamopi sana asadrupo yatha swapna uttarakshanavadhatah. Now he says, look, when we say that entire ātmā prapañca is nothing but Brahman, it does not mean that we dismiss ātmā prapañca. You have to be very careful. Whenever we say this entire universe, which is ātmā, okay, not ātmā iti, and we say that is nothing but Brahman, that indeed is ātmā. When we say this, we never dismiss or we never deny the existence of the ātmā prapañca. Because especially if you observe, do you experience time or not? Definitely. Do you experience? It will come with the dream example, it will come through the different examples, next two verses. So when you are experiencing, especially the pain, body pain that you have, hey, only you can experience, okay, not me, okay? And the best example is the headache when you have, which cannot be explained to anybody, anyone. And everybody will think that you are perfectly okay. What is this headache? Because it is our childhood trick, okay? So childhood trick means when you don't want to eat, when you don't want to do something, then what is to be said? Say that I am having headache. And nobody can question. I am not telling you jokes. We had a very good trick those days, okay? Nowadays, okay, children are entirely different. They are few steps ahead, okay? Don't ask me how and why. However, here he says that the moment we that start saying that ātmā prapañca universe does not exist, in fact that is indeed ātmā, it does not mean we try to dismiss. This is the point to be noted very carefully. That does not mean that we dismiss the existence of ātmā. Because there are two types of existence. So it exists in my experience. So the experiential existence continues. Clear? Whereas the factual existence is not there. In reality, it does not exist. How? It gives the beautiful way of explaining. He says, look, now he says, Ayam lokaha anubhutaha iti. So if you say very carefully that This anatma prapancha, don't say that it is non-existent. This is how the Buddhism went wrong, okay? So existence, non-existence, they had to adopt non-existence. So from non-existence, existence comes. How is it possible? However, here we say very carefully, hey look, this entire universe, what we call as anatma prapancha, it is not existent, never say non-existence at all. But it exists in my experience. So that means what? Seemingly exist. Partially exist. But in reality, it does not exist. That's why if you observe, because it exists, that's why it is experienced. Will you be able to experience non-existence? Will it be possible? Now we got this point. Buddhism, mindfulness, all these people, because mindfulness is nothing but is a corporate version of Buddhism, okay? Remember this point. So, that means they say that from asat, this world comes. Means from non-existence, this universe comes. That is what they are found at. Basic point. Now, that non-existence to be experienced by mindfulness or meditation or whatever. Now tell me, will be possible to experience non-existence thing? Bandhyaputra. We have a beautiful, explanation. Bandhyaputra, son of a barren lady. Shashashrungaha, horn of a rabbit. Try to experience. Akasa pushpa, we have, do you know? So, the flower in the sky, wow. But nowadays, don't worry, in the movies and other places will be possible, okay? All this Maya world, okay, the Maya software, you can do anything and everything. This is another Maya, okay? People will not accept the Maya word, but they will believe and depend upon Maya software, okay? However, let us not get into that much. So, how this Buddhism contradicts itself? You say from non-existence, this world comes. From nothingness, from nothing, something comes. How is it possible? Here, nothing comes, okay? If you have common sense, you have to say, oh, please keep quiet, okay? How from nothing, something? No, you don't understand that nothing. Okay, better I should not understand, okay? And that nothingness to be experienced. How is it possible nothingness to be experienced? So that did not work, nothingness. Now mindfulness. Each word only changes, nothing changes in reality. So that means it's very clear. Now we never negate the existence of our experience. And moreover, when we are experiencing something, it means it exists. Because it's look now, like I have hunger. I experience hunger. Because it exists. If it does not exist, will I be able to experience hunger? So anything that exists, I experience. So now what happened? We say, this when I am hungry, I need to take food. Now once I take food, my hunger is being taken care. Now this hunger, in reality, does it exist or it is an experiential existence? you know better, most of our hunger is experiential existence. The amount of body, especially fat people, are more hungry. Yes or no? If the amount of fat that you have gathered in the body can be consumed for months together, nothing will happen, okay? And a lot of tests have been done, you know this particular thing. Long back, that was one group did it. A group of dogs, they did this experiment with the dogs. So what they did is, how it works. So they tie down dogs and they will feed the dog. So whenever they feed the dog, they used to ring the bell. Ting, 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 ting. So that means the dog is aware that this is the time for food. Then after that being fed. So they ate properly. Done. So few days they continued. Whenever they have to feed, they have to ring the bell. So one day what they did, after feeding the dog, again they started ringing the bell. Now all the dogs are hungry. Again they are coming for food. You understand? Because it is already programmed in the mind. So this hunger, is it real hunger or experiential hunger? Can you see this point? And if you observe, most of the time we have experience-based hunger, thirst, or anything and everything based on our experience. Now, when this experience-based existence we have, now we need to have knowledge to negate. Hey, look, experiential existence exists, but it does not solve my problem. In fact, it creates a problem. That's why the whole teaching is nothing but to take care or to point out that the hunger that you have, it is experiential based, it is not reality. That's why it is mithya iti. That's why those who really plan to reduce their weight, what they do? They have to reprogram. They have to say, hey, look. So they have to cheat themselves. Drink some water, divert your mind, do this, do that, do take tablet. Then finally nothing happens, okay? Don't ask me what happens later on, okay? So few days or few weeks, they will be boom. Then after that, boom, boom, boom. Whole life constantly fighting with the boom, boom. You understand? Good. Let them continue, okay? So which is good. So what I'm highlighting here is that when this is being experienced, he says, look, this is something called vyavaharakshyamaha. So vyavaharakshyamaha means this is useful. This is fit, really. This is useful for transaction. So I can relate with. So that means all my anubhuti, all my experience is fit, is available for transaction. But that does not mean it is truth, it is reality. That's why you can see for yourself, this is the problem. Whatever is, let us say, available for transaction, that does not mean that it is reality. This is another level of understanding. And there are a lot of calculations in mathematics we have. Also, if we try to look at through computing, we can find out. So there are many computing languages they do programming just for the sake of transaction. But in reality, it is not required. And here he says, look, he gives a beautiful example. Asat rupa yatha swapna uttara kshanavadhatah. He says, look, how is it possible? He says, look, yatha swapna तथा उत्तर क्षणबाधता and asadrupa iti. Now, look, in the dream, yatha swapna, in swapne, what happens to me? Now, in swapna, I am overfed. When I am overfed, in the dream I am doing it, okay? So my experience is, and not only that, I had many types of dishes, okay? In fact, I did not know what to do. The moment I get up, I am hungry. Now, please understand how quickly the experience that I had in the dream world gets negated or does not exist. Rather, the word we can use does not exist the moment I wake up. Including in dream, next verse will come in details, we can see it, don't worry. So, even if in dream, let us say I am taught that I am Brahman, I am ātman. There was a teacher to teach me. Yes, I was nicely listening to the teacher. Very good. Yes. The moment I get up, then what happens? So I discover there is one cockroach or a spider. Now the moment I see a spider or a cockroach, then what happens to the teaching? You forget to tell Swamiji what to talk of dream and waking. Now also when you are listening, we are listening to you, suppose nearby some cockroach or a spider or something passes by, we'll switch off the camera, then you don't ask what we will do, okay? Then after that we'll wash our face and sit properly as though nothing has happened. However, look, this dream experience that I was eating elaborately in a fraction of a second, and interestingly, how long a common person dreams? Do you know what is the duration of dream? Few seconds. They say maximum, many people they have recorded many ways, 22 seconds. Okay, but looks like whole life we have experienced, okay? From childhood, and sometimes series of dream comes. You wake up, again you drink, and again you go to sleep, again you starting from there. This is called series of, dream. That's another level, okay? Don't ask me. Now, anything that we dream is being negated the moment we wake up. So also here there are two types of reality. Also whatever I experience, that is what next verse will come, whatever I experience in my waking stage, that also get negated in dream. Does it happen or not? I have taken food up to this. In fact, too much food, that's why I went to bed, sleep. And now in the dream, I am seeing I am hungry. And especially children, they do it, okay? Poor mother, they have to handle it, okay? The fellow has ate properly and slept, but while sleeping was eating, okay? Did not know. Now with that thought goes, sleeps. Now while dreaming starts shouting, I didn't have food, give me food, I want to eat, why didn't you give? Then what mother has to do? Hit, okay? Hey, wake up. So now imagine what is being experienced in waking stage. Really you ate? Now that is completely negated. It does not exist in the dream world. And interestingly, these two does not exist in deep sleep. Can you see this point? Now how this existence that we call as a truth, but in reality it just exists in my experience level. That's why the more you understand, the more you start looking at your life experience in a very ordinary way. That's why this is tulya nindya stutihi. So that means what? Whenever somebody hates you, okay, thank you. Somebody praises you, also you smile and thank you. Because all these it is exactly like dream or our waking state. And that will come when maturity comes. Continuing. Swapna jagarane lokah swapnepi jagaro nahi dvayameva laye nasti layopi hubhayo nacha hubayornacha. So he takes another point. Now, because he doesn't want to, leave the point. Jagarane swapna alikah swapne api jagarah nahi asti doyam eva laye nasti laya apihi ubhayo nacha asti iti. So he brings, look how swapna, the experience related to swapnam, jagarani, in waking stage, alikaha means unreal, does not exist. So also, he says, look, swapne api, in dream, jagaraha means the anubhuti that you had in waking stage, the experience that you went through in your waking state does not exist. It loses its existence. And interestingly, both waking and dream experiences do not exist in deep sleep. Now what happens? We all are holding to our experiences. And some of them, work for experiences. Thinking that experience is everything. Yes, experience is something to negate my experience. Or you can say to improve, to negotiate with my experiences. It's exactly like when you have snake bite. So when you have snake bite, what generally they do it? So they have to take another snake's poison, what they call as antivenom, and they administer it in such a way so that to negate the previous poison. Yes, we do not, Vedantin, that's why this is the difference. Vedantin never dismisses experience. But at the same time, Vedantin never give over importance to the experiences. This is the problem. That's why without maturity, if a person comes to Vedanta, definitely is a disaster for the person and for the surroundings. Because there is nothing to hold on to. At least if you go to puja, japa, meditation, this group, that group, at least there is something to hold on to. Whereas in Vedanta, there is nothing to hold on to because you have made your mind so, sharp. And you don't believe anybody, you don't listen to anybody, including Shastra, Guru or anybody, okay? Only you know everything. And moreover, whatever is convenient for you, you only look at that in scripture. That's why if you don't have pramana buddhi coming back, If you don't have Shraddha, you have a conditional Shraddha. You have called, Pramana Buddhi what? It's called scientific Buddhi. Is Shastra logical? Is Shastra talking scientific way? Is Shastra talking based on my belief? Is Shastra talking based on my understanding? Is Shastra talking for my benefit? Then Shastra is okay. So that means it is not a Pramana Buddhi at all. So when you don't have Pramana Buddhi, nor you have Shraddha, remember, Vedānta will never benefit you. In fact, Vedānta will become a curse. And I have been seeing many of our friend circles, those who came to study, and of course I with you people also, sometimes Vedānta, instead of helping, puts or creates problem in life. More of it, we'll see.